Y'all. This show, Squid Game, the challenge, it is a must watch. This is must see TV. Okay. This
Yes.
review slash spoiler discussion is going to talk about episodes 1 through 5. That's all that we have been provided. Today is the 23rd, Thanksgiving. And then on November 29th is when they're going to provide the additional, I believe it's 5 episodes, someone said. So we're going to get into it. But before we do that, do not forget one, to leave a comment down below. Also, do not forget to like and subscribe. Now, let's get into this. When I seen it, I was like, okay. At first, I was like, here's another company, Netflix. We've seen them recreate shows and do their own kind of competition shows. Floor is Lava for one. And I'm like, okay, I'm not having it. So when I seen this one, I was like, let's get into it. Let's hope it's not cheesy, whatever. And at first, I thought it was a little cheesy. I was like, oh, okay. But then as it has gone on, I was like, I cannot get my eyes off this. I have to continue watching it. So we're going to get into it. So first off, yes, it is based on the South Korean show Squid Game. Okay. And this is just reality TV show where they have 465 contestants from all around the world. You have people from America, people from London, etc., who all are competing for, it's like, I forgot the exact number, but it's like 4 point something million dollars. Okay. Each person essentially is worth 10, so it'll be 4.65, but each person is worth $10,000. Okay, so if a person gets eliminated, we're going to add $10,000 into this piggy bank up at the top of the ceiling. Okay, so
Yes.
there's different various games that we have seen, and I'm only going to talk about 1 through 5, which is red light, green light. We got the honeycomb. We have these, which is different. It deviates from the show, where we have these mini dorm room kind of challenges. Okay, so all people, they're all living in this little space, and they're like little challenges. So, i.e., we're gonna start eliminating some people. So
Isn't
that's
that
what's going on.
amazing?
We we even have one, okay, and I'm gonna mention it a little later, okay. And then at the end of at the end of episode 5, we get to see like a little preview for the other stuff. And of course, you see the glass tile one, you see the actual Squid Game and all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty cool. So right now I'm actually going to start discussing certain things that happen in episode 1 and 2. Like I said, this is a spoiler talk, so if you don't want to know anything that goes on, don't watch this, okay? Or come back to it later, okay? But this will be a spoiler talk about certain things. So we have one of the first challenges, or the first challenge, which is the red light, green light, where you have all the people out here, and then you got that big animatronic little girl that she turns red light, green light, and then it's all that kind of stuff, okay? So obviously, when it's red, you don't move. Green, I'm turned around, you get moving. I turn around, red light, you don't move, obviously, right? So they start doing like these interviews and stuff, and I'm like, a lot of y'all just meet for the grinder, okay? I'm like, do I really need an interview right now? So at first I was like, this isn't really necessary. But later on, it makes more sense because we have a smaller group and it makes it be more personable. So I was actually really enjoying it later on in the different episodes where we're able to actually get more, just we get to learn more about people who matter because you have made it further. Okay. So, but in this episode, this show was great, y'all. I was really loving it. But this episode, this chick, she starts crying because she sees that people are getting eliminated. So this is how people are getting eliminated. Okay, people are all wearing like these little pellet kind of patches. These little what are they called? They're like these exploding pellets, okay? And it's like black ink that's in them. So you die remotely. One of the red suits, press the button, and then your thing explodes and you just fall to the ground like, I died. Okay, so that's essentially what's going on. And then people are just dropping like flies, okay? And then you see this lady and she looks over. You see this lady and then she sees these people and she's like frozen. She's like this. And then she's like, and then she just drops to the floor. She's like, I can't think. I'm like, oh, girl, this is the
Girl,
first challenge. You've
bye.
seen the show. You've seen the show. If you couldn't do it, we could have found somebody else that would take your spot, and you over here crying. Say that. You know, so that's how I was for it. So obviously they went and popped her because, you know, you moved. Okay. So then, you know, people go through blah blah, and they eliminate a lot of people. Like even in the show, I remember that first episode. I was like, oh, red light, green light. I was like, okay, and then you find out like, oh, you guys are actually dying, and then how many people died? I was like, oh, okay, it's over 100. I was like, are there gonna be any people left? So here there was more people left, it seemed, than the other one. So then you go into like there's a second challenge, okay? And this is and I'm not in this spoiler review, I'm not gonna give everything, okay, because there's a lot of different details, some important, some not that much. But we got another challenge, the honeycomb challenge. Okay, so you got the circle, triangle, star, and the umbrella. Okay, so you got the honeycomb, you got to just carve it out perfectly. Okay, a trick that you learned from the show was you lick it to soften it up and use the needle and get it, you know, and do that kind of stuff. So you had people, they said, okay, we got different lines. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 people in the front of each line. Go in here. Now all 4 of you guys pick who gets what. Okay. So you had the first group, they were like, I'm not doing the umbrella. I'm not doing the umbrella. And the person was like, no, you got to do the umbrella. He's like, I'm not doing the umbrella. I'm not going to do it. And then time ran out. And then the person was like, whatever your numbers are, your respective numbers, you all have been eliminated. Bye. So then they send in the next group. And there's the same mess where I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. I don't do it. Y'all all have been eliminated. Bye. Now we're going to send the next group. We're going to keep doing it until we have no people. Is that what we're going to do? So then in this next group, they're like, okay, we got to do it. So then they do it. And the dude, there's so there is this dude. What is his name? His name is Brighton. Okay. And we're going to get into him a little later, but he's like a bro. Okay. He's like extra bro-ish. Okay. And there's this one white dude. And Brighton is like, he's mixed with black and white. Okay. His mama white. And he was like, he's like, yo, I'll help you. He's like, I got the, he got a circle or a square. I think, no, a circle or triangle. I don't remember which one he got, but whatever one he got, he told the dude in the umbrella, he said, I'll help you when I'm done. He said, I got you. He was like, oop, oop. And this dude is like, oops, this dude is legitimately like about to barf. Like he has this crazy gag reflex going on, yo. And he is about to I mean, he's about to throw up, yo. So, bruh, he's over here like, and then all that. And then he's like, I'll help you. And then he goes and picks the umbrella. And then we got their respective teams or whatever. And this is going to be your shape to carve out and all that. So then in the intercom, they said, you are not allowed to help anyone else out. Yo, how much laughter I have from that. And then Brighton, he's just like, he's like, okay, one down. And from the umbrella one, yo, so many people got eliminated on that one. I mean, it was like over half, I think. And in the triangle one, which is the easiest one, people still got eliminated. I'm like, y'all, how you get this to easiest shape, y'all? But yo, so that challenge is done. Now we're in our dorm, okay, which is just open space, whatever. So then we got some dude, he gets eliminated. I don't know, maybe I missed it, but it was some Indian dude. He just got eliminated. And they were like, okay, you're done. And I was like, okay, I guess next. There's a phone. Okay. And there's this Indian dude. He's like, I'll pick it up, because everyone was looking around it like, oh, well, what is it? Well, what should I do? And he was like, I'll pick it up. So he picks it up. And then the thing said, do not hang up the phone. And it was saying like, okay, you just won a prize. You won some food, a meal. They bring out French fries and 2 burgers. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, 2 burgers for one person? And these animals, just animals. These people just, they all just take his food. He gets like maybe 5 fries. And this one chick, black chick, she takes all, this burger is like this big, yo. Okay, this burger is a pretty decent sized burger. And this chick, chick goes and takes the whole burger. I was cracking up, yo. I was cracking up. I was like, bruh, did you just take this burger? So I'm cracking up with that. So then the phone is in the middle still of this whole dorm area, and then it rings again. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna answer it. So he answers it, and then they say, okay, and this is the end of episode 2. So then it says, okay, if since you answered this phone, you are going to get eliminated unless you give it to somebody else to answer. So he's like, oh, shoot. Okay. So now he's like, okay, well, I gotta get someone else to answer the phone. But they seen his facial expression. They were like, I don't want to be anywhere near that. He's like, hey, you want to come over here? You know that? And they were like, I don't know about that. Okay. So his number was 198. He got eliminated. Okay. So now we're in episode 3. He ended up getting eliminated early, episode 3. But now we're in episode 3. And we're seeing different kinds of bonding going on from older people or younger people. There's a mother and son, who's actual mother and son. They're together. There's an older dude and there's a younger dude, and we see those two bonding together. Okay. So now we get into the next challenge, and people are like, oh man, okay, if I remember the show correctly, this is tug of war. We got this. Let's get our big burly men out here and all this other stuff. Okay. So we got 8 lines. Okay. So obviously there's going to be 4 different ones. So 2, 4, 6, 8 people compare together and whatnot. So the bro that I told you, his name is Brighton. Okay. And I believe it's Brighton, and I don't have his number, but whatever. But he sees this girl crying, and he was like, all that crying, this is not a game of sympathy, pretty much buck up or shut up, essentially. So we're seeing different people. Then we're introduced to more people. We got this one guy named TJ. He's number 182. He is a former professional basketball player. Okay. And he's like, I'll be the leader of this. So you're thinking, okay, he's going to be in the front lines and do all this other stuff, right? Then we see there's another chick. I forgot her name, but she was 033. Beautiful. It's a blonde chick. She's gorgeous. So now we get into it, like, ooh, we gonna see some tug of war. I'm curious how people are gonna fall and how that's gonna work. Obviously, nothing to injure anyone or anything like that. But oh, what a surprise, y'all! Y'all, this was not tug of war. They switched it up on you from what Squid Game the show had. They made it battleships, y'all. Battleship. Okay, where you have your little ships. I played it online when I was younger. I played it online, but you have these little ships. You put it on different little prongs and put them in different spots, and then it's the other person's other teams. In this case, opportunity to say, okay, A3, and then if it's on A3, we get to psh. So now I know, okay, you're either vertical or you're horizontal. You're somewhere in this little zone. So, and here, essentially, what it was you have to sink 2 ships from the other team and you win. But here's the thing. You could still win by having one of your ships sink. Okay. You just need to make sure you get 2 ships of theirs before they get 2 ships of yours. But if one of your ships sink, whoever's on there, they're out. Okay. And you may think, like this one chick, oh, I'm the captain, y'all. Y'all not gonna get me. You will still be eliminated because you are a part of that team. Okay. So it was very interesting to see what happened. In this one, Brighton, the bro, nobody was liking him because he was all extra, he ended up getting eliminated, him and his team, because here's the thing. They put him on we had as a lieutenant and a captain. It was 2 females, and they told him, yo, put it over here. And I believe they had him on C3. Okay. Now here's the thing. He was in a ship of 2. So really, out of anything, you don't want the ship of 2. You want that one to hide the best. Okay. You wouldn't just stick it in the middle, because he had his in the corner and the lady was like, oh, no, we're going to put you over here. I felt like you would have won had you moved him over to the corner and kept him where he originally was, as opposed to moving him in the middle, because now, people think, bombs, explosive, let's go and click this one. And the reason why I say that, because there's this chick who, she was actually, I I don't have it here, but I wrote it down, my other thing. But there's this chick, she was actually a gamer. She's like a professional game design person, whatever. And she was saying that she has like the, you know, largest IQ when she was younger in London and whatnot. And this chick, she was like, I'm good at games and I'm smart, y'all. So let me be the captain. They were like, go ahead. And she was like, people think, she said, this game is part luck, part strategy. She said, people think, oh, well, I could put it here. She said, you don't want to put it C3 or anything like that. She said, because people will automatically think, let me go here. Let me go in the middle. Let me go and do this right here. She said, I put it over here, 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 here. And she was putting them up and knocking them down, y'all. I was like, yo. And then at the end, people were like, yo, okay. But at the end of episode 3, you essentially see how you had like, what was it, 465 contestants? I think it was 465 is what started out as. And then it dwindled all the way down to 73 players, yo. I was like, bruh, oh my goodness, that is insane. That's crazy how many people, I mean, it's almost 400 people who got eliminated, you know? So I thought that was, I mean, that was crazy. Okay, now we're gonna go into episode 4, and this one is called Nowhere to Hide, okay? And this one is really centered on dorm test, okay? Just little mini test within this room, okay? So essentially with this one, because there was 2 in this episode, but with this one, the first one is everyone must eliminate a total of 3 people, okay? We're going to have 3 people that get eliminated, boom. Now, we get introduced to this lady named Cheney. She's 179. She's a math teacher. She's a black lady with like these slanted eyes and whatnot. I was loving her character, okay? Because she was like, okay, I'm gonna be the boss. And she was like, you know, I'm gonna tell you like it is. Okay, it's simple as that. All right, so everyone's over here trying to figure out, okay, who are the 3 people we're going to get eliminated? Okay, who are the 3 people we're going to eliminate? So everyone's doing that. So you had these 3 ladies. They're like, okay, well, we got 30 minutes to do it. Instead of us all just sitting over here stressing out, let's go and cut some apples. Let's go into the kitchen. They got apples over there. Let's go and cut them up and just give it to people just so we could give like a kind gesture. Could be strategic, which I kind of felt like it was, or it could have just been a nice gesture. You know, you could look at it whatever way you want to. Now, reason why I bring that up is because there was a Swiss, I don't know what he was. I don't know if he was German or Swiss or he didn't sound Italian. Maybe he could have been Italian. I don't know. It was some white dude. His name was Lorenzo. He was 161. Okay. Now they come out when bringing the apples, you know, as the time is dwindling, you know, because they're like, okay, we got to eliminate somebody. And then he's like, oh, I don't want that. Oh, I don't care about your apples. I don't want that, you know. I'm not for the fakeness, you know. And he's wearing like in his little interview, like I said, people do these interviews. He's wearing like this floral, what is it, like lumberjack kind of thing with the, you know, with the stuff. And I was like, okay, it's an odd outfit for for a dude, but whatever. But he was like, I'm not for the fakeness. I don't like that. You know, I'm not going to be fake. I'm going to be real and who I am. And I don't want your apples. I don't need that. And I'm like, okay, he's going to be going, because it's one thing if you do that every day, like whatever. But when you're doing a competition and other people can dictate whether or not you get eliminated, maybe you shouldn't be doing that up in here, okay? Especially when y'all don't know each other and people got alliances and stuff like that. I don't know if that's the best move, okay? So grandma, the mother-son duo, the mother, she went and picked him to get eliminated. And here's the thing with these eliminations, okay? So everyone's in a line. When you vote, you put in the person's number. When you vote, their name and number appears on the screen. Okay, doesn't tell you how many tallies, but if you voted, everyone knows, okay, you picked this number. And then the next person, if you pick a different person, that number in person appears on the screen. Okay, so, and you may say, okay, well, let's say you got 3 options up on the screen. Okay, so what if you go and pick this one? It's not going to show like, okay, 5 people picked this one or anything like that. But we know you picked 1, 2, or 3. Okay. So I was like, oh, y'all messy. Y'all know what y'all doing. So everything's said and done. People get eliminated. Now, There is this dude. He has like this reddish oranges. He's a gay white dude. He got this reddish oranges hair. His name is Dash. He's 141, y'all. So he went and voted for Cheney, the chick I told you was math teacher from earlier. And he was like, yeah, she needs to go. She needs to go. She's the leader. She's a big dog. She needs to go. But then he comes up to her later on and says, oh, girl, yeah, I didn't vote for you. Yeah, I love you, girl. I don't want anything to happen to you. And I'm like, ooh, you messy. So he over here lying. So then he goes and confronts these, or not confronts, but more like confides in these black chicks, right? It's like 2 or 3 black chicks he starts talking to. And he's like, yeah, you know, I was over here. I voted for Cheney. He said, she needs to go. She's a big dog over there. Tarra, tarra. And it was like, oh, girl, yeah. Or the girls were like, oh, yeah, man. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, you know, people in their alliances around here. And then once he leaves, they go over here and they start hopping. And there's this gay black dude who's in an alliance with y'all. This was messy and I was loving it. I was loving it so much. So then, so then she goes over, one of the black chicks that the white boy Dash was confiding in. She goes over to this gay black dude who is in cahoots with Cheney. And then she's like, you won't believe what I heard. And he's like, what? Let me sit down. What happened? Oh, you know Dash over there? Tell me why he told me that he was over here, went and voted for Cheney, and then said that he didn't. And then the guy was like, oh, and then he goes over here and then hops over there to Cheney. And then there's another white dude that's a part of their alliance. And there's TJ, the pro basketball player as well, but he wasn't over here at the time. But he goes over there and said, oh, I got some gossip for you. And then she's like, what? And he was like, remember Dash? And she was like, yeah, he said he didn't vote for me. He lied, girl. Ooh, he voted for you. And I was like, ooh. Ooh, I was loving it. So that whole thing happened. So now it was like, you are a liar. You lying. Okay. So that all happened. Now we're going to get into, so now there's like a little interview kind of thing, another interview. And it's this guy, Steven, 243. He got this mullet. He is a moving company owner, whatever. Okay. He is cool with this older dude named Rick, who is 232. And he is a physician, okay, or former physician, a doctor. And I was looking at Steven. I was like, you know, I'm not into mullets, but I was like, he looked good with that mullet. I was like, okay, he looking good over here. I was like, okay, I want him to continue. And I like the bond that him and Rick have, but I was like, I definitely want him to continue, okay? So now, everyone's chilling, whatever, the competition is over. So, and you know, we stirring the pot over here. So then Rick's number 232, the older guy who is bonding with Steven, his number gets called on intercom and they said, bring one person with you. And then he was like, immediately, he was like, oh, I'm gonna pick Steven. So then they go, and then it's this game called, I believe it's Dunchy or Dutchy. And you know, it's the one where you got the paper folded up. Got one red, one blue, then you throw it. Essentially, you want to flip someone's stuff over. So they're over here BSing around. They see it there. They're like, okay, we're just going to practice whatever. And then in the intercom, it says number 243, which is Steven. You lost. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no. I was like, oh, they were having fun. They were kicking. I was like, oh no. You going to take Steven away? I was like, oh man, don't do that to me, y'all. Come on. So then Red Suit comes out and I'm like, oh my God. And now I'm like this. I'm like clutching my pearls that don't exist. And I'm like doing this stuff over here. And I'm like, oh my God, y'all gonna take my man away. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So then Red Suit brings out a bar of chocolate and gives it to Rick. It was like, here's your prize for winning. They made it seem like he was going to get eliminated, but he wasn't going to get eliminated at all. I was like, oh, thank goodness, y'all. Thank you. Okay. So now we go into a set of new challenges. Okay. Where this episode episode 4 ends with, you got 6 boxes, 5 volunteers. It says one box, or there's going to be a box where essentially you eliminate yourself, and there's going to be a box where I believe they say you eliminate somebody else. Okay. So now we're in episode 5. Okay. Y'all, this stuff was good. This was good. Ooh, it was so good. So now we're episode 5. Okay. So like I said, we have 6 boxes, 5 volunteers. You later find out what's in each, except for one, obviously, because there's only 5 people. So 1 box, you eliminate yourself. Okay. But obviously it's a Jack in the Box, so you don't know what you got. Okay. So 1 box, you eliminate yourself. Another box, you eliminate 1 person. Another box, you eliminate 2. Another one, you eliminate 3. In 1 box, you have an advantage. Okay. So you get advantage, eliminate yourself, eliminate 1 person, 2 people, 3 people. Boom. That's how that works. So we see this chick, she's a black lady, she's gay, and she has a kid, okay? And she has an alliance, or however you want to say, alliance, friendship, whatever, with this other black chick who also has a kid, okay? So it comes her turn, y'all, okay? I don't remember her name or her number, but it comes her turn, and she gets the box where she gets to eliminate 3 people, okay? And she goes and picks the guy who just got an advantage from the last one. She goes and eliminates him. Okay. He just got the advantage. So I get it. Strategic. I get it. Okay. So then she goes and picks Steven and his fine self. I was like, whoa, why did you hold up? I was like, out of all these other people, why'd you pick him? Okay. And then they go and get his homeboy Rick. I was like, oh no. I was like, oh my God. You got 2 of my favorite people, man. Steven and Rick. Oh, I was hurt. I was really hurt. I was like, oh no, why'd you have to pick them? So those 2 end up going, and it was another dude that ended up going, the one that was a rat. Well, not the one that was, he wasn't a rat, but he was a liar. And it was some other people who end up going as well. Okay. So people stopped clapping after a while. After really the last challenge, people were like, nah. Cause now it's like, okay, we're closer to people. So now it's like, oh, do I really want to clap for someone I like leaving? You know what I mean? So that's what was going on. So now we are on to, obviously we're in episode 5, but we're on challenge. There's another challenge. So I said we need 5 people to, volunteer to do a chore. So 5 people come, they do a chore, which essentially is just squeezing oranges and putting it into 3 big jars and doing it within 30 minutes, which they were able to do successfully. Okay. Now, and they said if you do it successfully, you would get a treat for the dorm. So they end up doing it. So, and also there's this Irish dude that I was actually liking in there too. But they end up doing it or whatever. So their treat was actually a picnic. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like, they got a little picnic thing going on. So they got to pick whoever they want to share the picnic with. Pairs of 2, well, pairs obviously. But you'll get into pairs, and then you'll just go get your blanket, and then they'll bring over a basket, and it had the fresh orange juice that the 5 people juiced. They had some sweets, they had like some barbecue chips, and they had like some other stuff in there. It was really cool. So I was like, oh, this is really nice. I was like, oh, this is so sweet. After all the emotions that are running, people are crying and all this other stuff. I was like, this is nice and kosher, not kosher, but this is nice and wholesome that they're able to just relax and, kind of get, some sense of normality going on with all of this. Let's just relax and, whatever. So then they're eating, they're enjoying, they're laughing, they're talking, they're having the orange juice. They're like, oh, this is great. This is amazing. So then the mother and son duo, the son, he was like, what's this flap under this picnic basket? He pulls it open, and then it's like, oh no. And then you see that it's marbles. So if you made it this far. So when you have the marbles in the show, essentially what that was they made you pick a partner. But what they did was you now have to compete against whoever your partner is. And that's what really sucks, because somebody's losing. So what really sucked by it was like, man, these people picked their friends, and now one person is losing. Now, here's the thing. I was thinking about what was that advantage that could have, that the black dude who ended up getting eliminated, what was that advantage? There's an odd number. Okay. Which means if we have to get into pairs, one person's not going to be doing anything. Okay. So I was like, okay, well, if we got to get into pairs, one person not going to be doing anything. What would have happened was the dude who got the advantage, if he did not get eliminated, they would have given him a single basket and they would have said, essentially, you're good to go. You don't have to participate because you have to play marbles against somebody. Okay. So there's this one dude who, terrible mullet kind of thing. It wasn't even a mullet. He has like a weird hairstyle, but he was like, I'll just be by myself. It's not a big deal, whatever. And everyone else was like, I'm getting my pairs. And then you find out it's marbles. And he's like, well, I think I'm good because I literally have no one else to go against. So that was the advantage. And it would have behooved them all to really think about it and be like, what could the advantage be? There's an odd number, 63 people, I believe is what it was. And you have to get into pairs. How can this make any sense? Maybe that's the advantage, but that's how it ends. And then now, November 29th would be the second half, which should be 5 episodes if I'm not mistaken. But that would be the second half of all of this. Yo, this show was wild, yo. Like, this show was wild. It was enjoyable. I used to love the reality TV shows because I thought they were real at the time. Then I found out they're not, and I'm like, so I'm kind of like off of them. But this is really good. I 100% highly recommend it. If you say, okay, Alex, out of 5, what would you give it? I'm giving it like a 4.8, 4.9. The reason why not 100% of 5 is because in the beginning they were doing interviews and I was just kind of like, well, I kind of felt like the interview should have waited a little bit longer, at least until that first challenge, the red light, green light, was over with. Then we get the interviews because we've already eliminated, some people. Well, not some. We've already eliminated like half of the people. You know what I mean? So that's what I felt like should have happened later on. But otherwise, this show was amazing, y'all. This was really, really, really good. I truly enjoyed it. I had so much fun. They had me, I was clutching pearls that weren't there, and I'm over here like this, and I'm like, oh my God, and I'm like, ah, and I'm over here clapping, and I'm like, oh no, and I'm like, no, so I had so many emotions with this that I really didn't think I would have. I just truly enjoyed this show. I'm waiting. I cannot wait for the second half of it because I truly enjoyed this. It was so much fun, and I highly recommend this show. It was amazing. And everything looked so authentic. The clothes, the jumpsuit that they had on, the little dorm not benches, but the dorm double, triple, quadruple bunk beds. Even giving them the food. You got the honeycomb challenge, and it was a lot. It was very interesting. I liked how they did what they did, even the stair mechanism of it. You had the guards, and they were all just like these slim people, all just like this, because you got the mask on. They're all just, I was really enjoying it, yo. And I liked that whole little mechanism of the to pretend like you got shot, of the black pellet ink stuff. I thought that was really cool. They even show like their control room where you have all of our guards, circles and squares in there, and how everyone's just in there just watching people and stuff like that. It was really cool. They even have the bathrooms, and I noticed everyone had like the same kind of toothbrush, and everyone had like a little pack where you could keep your personal hygiene kind of items and stuff like that. It was really cool. They really paid attention to detail in this series, in this show. I really enjoyed it. But y'all, this review is long enough. Let me know if you all have seen this, and if you have, what would you rate it out of 5? Did you enjoy it? What was your reasoning for it? And let me know down below.